About 8 to 9 years ago, I was in the comfort of my living room. I was watching one of my favorite shows at the time, Britain's Got Talent. Yes, if you know the show, you will know that it is so much fun and interesting and exciting and sometimes very inspiring, right? Um, and I remember one of the contestants was a 6-year-old girl. This girl came to do a very unique performance, right? It was magic. I had seen some people perform magic. Okay, some contestants perform magic. Several people have done magic in the past, but this girl was different. She was unique. Her magic performance was magical. I'm not joking. It was brilliant. It was spectacular. She gave the audience and the judges a show. She finished and everybody, including the judges, they gave her like a standing ovation and they were just clapping for her. And I was like, what? A 6-year-old girl could do this? She blew my mind. Jokes apart. Now, one of the judges, a very popular judge, Simon Cowell, he asked her a very interesting question. He said, who taught you magic? She said, my grandmother taught me how to perform magic. And the next question was like, wow. He said, at what age did she begin teaching you magic? Her answer blew my mind. She said, my grandmother said teaching me magic since I was 2 years old. I was like, what? That answer she gave opened my eyes to parenting. I thought to myself, if her grandma could begin teaching her magic at the age of 2, and by the age of 6, she was so smart. She could perform excellent magic, even better than a lot of adults. I said, then my children, I could begin teaching my children the word of God now. For me, that was just like mind-blowing. And it opened my eyes to parenting, like catch them young kind of parenting. I didn't really have like a focus or whatever, about an idea about how I wanted to raise my children. But when I saw that and I thought of the grandmother and saw the effort she had put into building that 6-year-old girl, teaching her magic at that age, I was like, no man, I can begin teaching my children the word of God at a very young age. And so I started. I mean, many people could have said, oh wow, wonderful magic, but I saw beyond that. I saw a grandmother that just taught her daughter not just magic but excellence. That taught her how to do things wonderfully, that taught her how to be confident, how to be bold, how to be eloquent, how to come up and stand before judges, before thousands of people, and be so confident at speaking and expressing yourself. Her grandmother had taught her a lot beyond just the magic that we're seeing superficially. And so I told myself, I have to be intentional about how I parent my children. I have to think about what kind of future do I want for them, and then begin little by little to to begin to institute that future that I want for them. And so that was how I began to take my parenting journey serious. Like the Bible says, train up a child in the way that it should go, and when it's old, it will not depart from it. It reminds me of that passage. It also says, like, as arrows are in the hands of a mighty man. I began to see my children as arrows, like, wow, these are arrows that I need to handle properly, so I know how to shoot, how to fire them. Yes. And so when people ask me questions about, oh, how are you able to raise your children, what was the manual? My manual is the word of God, and just reorienting myself that my kids were not too small to begin to learn the word of God. So I think it was about 2 years or so, I began to teach them little things about the Bible. I began to pray with them. I began to pray for them. I began to teach them how to pray. I began to teach them the word of God, memory verses that they will recite. Till now, they know several memory verses, because as I learn one and I teach them, I add another one to it, and my husband too, we were both on the same page, and so it's really helped. So I just want to, I don't know where I'm going with this video, but point is that parenting at the end of the day it's all about a vision that you have for your children, you know, and then bringing that vision to light step by step. And I think for me, I would encourage parents to start early. Okay, that there's no age that is too late to start as early as you can. You know, even before you get pregnant, begin to sow seeds into the future of your unborn children. When you are pregnant with them, begin to pray for them, you know, begin to prophesy into their lives. You know, by the time you give birth to them, begin to sing worship songs, begin to tell them about the word of God, buy them book of Bible stories, buy them the Bible, you know, like indoctrinate them into what you want them to become. And beyond just teaching them, right, also make sure that you are a good model too. You practice what you preach, because ultimately that's what is going to make the difference. Yes. Okay, so that was, for me, it was that talent show, you know, that just opened my eyes into what my children could become, you know, with the help of God through me, right? The assignment that God has committed into my hands. Okay, and I can mold them by God's grace, with God's help. I can shape them to becoming, you know, mighty men of God, mighty vessels in the hand of God. Okay, and so I hope that this video has been helpful. And you took one thing or the other from it, I hope. Let me know in the comment section. All right, so God bless you, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Bye for now.